What is going on? Welcome to the Aesthetic Master Free Training. Today, I'm gonna break down the exact methods that I use to build the physique that you see online, and you're gonna walk away from this video with a ton of value knowing exactly what to do. But first, let's get into the story real quick. You might already know this, but growing up, I was the skinny kid, and I spent years struggling to figure out how to put on any size at all. I was literally the skinniest kid in my class for so many years, and it was through trial and error, testing out all these different things in the gym, testing out a lot of things with nutrition, and through the process of years of trial and error, I finally figured out how to put on lean muscle and put on some size, and I thought I had it all figured out. But going into 2023, I was a passenger in a car accident that nearly took my life, and I was in a neck brace for months, and I was lucky to even go back to the gym, lucky to be here filming this video with you. But by the time I took my neck brace off, I was skinny fat. I'd pretty much lost all the progress that I had spent my entire life working on when it comes to building a physique. And so I pretty much had to start over in 2023. And the progress I made from 2023 to the physique that you see now on Instagram, uncomparable. I mean, one of the best natural transformations out there. And right now, we're gonna get into all the lessons learned and the details to help you make a transformation as well. So enough said, let's get right into it. The 5 infinity stones of aesthetic mastery. First off, it's really important for you to understand the aesthetic 365 framework. There's all different styles of training. You got powerlifting, you got marathon running, you got so many styles of training, calisthenics, the list goes on and on. But each style of training is going to create a different type of physique. If your goal, I'm assuming you're watching this video, your goal is to build that aesthetic physique that fills you with pride. Every time you go to the beach, you get fired up to take your shirt off, still functional, still athletic, finding that perfect mix took me a long time to figure out. I would spend time powerlifting and doing all these other things and not seeing progress in my physique. And I'm telling you, the style of training has such a big impact on the type of physique you build. You'll literally see, if you go look up the powerlifting world competitions, these guys have beer bellies, right? And no shade, by the way. Powerlifting, if your goal is to move as much weight as possible, that's cool, but that's not going to build the best possible natural aesthetic physique that you want. At the same time, very similar, if you're into marathon running, a lot of these guys who do marathon running are really skinny because that's the most optimal body type to get that done. So the point that I'm saying is being crystal clear on knowing what is your goal. If your goal is to build a peak aesthetic physique that just fills you with pride when you walk into a room for business, you get fired up, people notice you're in shape, when you look in the mirror, it fills you with pride because it's the type of body and that's the body you want, that is a very particular style of training, which is exactly what I do, and we're gonna get into that. But just knowing the difference is huge. I literally spent years powerlifting and trying out all these different styles of training when there was a very particular, through trial and error, I learned this very particular style of training, which helps build the body that you see now. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So nutrition mastery, so important. Right? A lot of people think that you have to have this miserable diet of chicken, rice, broccoli, and all these things if you want to build a physique like mine. It's not true. A lot of people think that you can never eat fast food, you can never go out to restaurants, any of those things. But what if I was to tell you, I do all three? And before you are like, yeah, right, it's because I have a clear understanding of where I'm at and what my goals are. That being said, do I eat fast food all the time? No, of course not. You can't eat all fast food. You also can't only eat from restaurants. But I have a healthy mix of all three, and because of nutritional mastery, I know how to control food and stay in peak shape year round, right? But how do I do this? Macro manipulation. First off, there's so many ways to get into this. There's a lot of advanced tactics, but just to give you a couple of really useful ones, fasting. Intermittent fasting was a game changer, especially for my goals. When I was trying to lean down a little bit, by fasting for 4 or 5 hours in the morning, I'm so far ahead on my calories because I know my maintenance so clearly and because I know my targets so clearly, especially when I fast early in the morning, I know I'm flexible to have a really big lunch and then I could be even more flexible with my dinner. That being said, right, am I ordering Mickey D's for lunch and dinner? Of course not. But I'm able to, let's say, have a really lean protein filling lunch, and then I'm very flexible with dinner, Completely varies. Sometimes when I'm trying to put on some lean muscle and put on some size, fasting might not be the most useful tactic. So it completely depends on where you're at and what your goals are, but that's one of many useful tactics. Satiating foods is another way to macro manipulate. By eating satiating foods, these are foods that are high in protein, low in calorie, preferably foods that you actually like because this is about consistency. But mixing in satiating foods could really help you stay under your calorie target if you want to lean down. And if you're trying to eat satiating foods as well, it's still a great way to get in protein and stay on top of your food. But the ultimate thing is becoming a nutritional master. Getting to a point where you are able to look at a plate of food and know roughly what the numbers are know exactly what your goal is, and day in and day out, be able to check off that box. Because there are a lot of coaches out there that try and push these miserable diet programs or these extreme measures of fast for 16 hours and eat 6 eggs and all this stuff. But you have to ask yourself this question: can you see yourself doing that for the rest of your life? Because nutrition is a lifestyle. And the reality is, a lot of these people who follow these extreme measures, they'll see a quick transformation, right? They'll lose the 20 pounds, whatever they're going to try and lose, but the second they get in shape, they're like, oh, thank goodness, I don't have to do this anymore. And then 3 months later, a year later, they're back out of shape again. It's just a Band-Aid. It's not a real fix. Nutritional mastery is what has enabled me to stay in peak shape year round, which is so important. We're gonna get into that a little bit later, but it's very important. Next up, daily dominating disciplines. Habit stacking has quite literally changed my life, and you would be amazed. The power of stacking small habits into your schedule that work for you. You might not notice this in a week, right? Perfect example is, let's say you work in an extra 2-3 hour intermittent fast, one of the tactics we just talked about. That's like shaving off 200-300 calories off your daily calories. In a week, you're not gonna notice much. In a month, that might be a couple pounds. But in 6 months, that's like losing 12 pounds. And this doesn't just have to be about nutrition, by the way. If you struggle to get up early in the morning, setting your phone across the room so when the alarm goes off, you have to get out of bed, and then maybe telling yourself a mantra, right? Part of the things I do for my clients is I figure out exactly what the perfect custom habits are for them that helps them stay accountable. But whatever these habits are for you, stacking small positive habits and intertwining that into your schedule quite literally supercharges success. And it is a part of your physique, because when you're a more consistent person, you show up not just for yourself, for your nutrition, but also for your body and for your lifestyle. And then you got motion. Now you're starting to stack W's. So stacking habits and being accountable with that is an absolute cheat code for you to stay on top of both your nutrition, your body, and your lifestyle, so much more. The daily dominating disciplines is a huge factor that helped me build the physique that I have today. On top of that, the peak physique protocol, right? As you heard me touch up on before, I stay in peak shape year round, right? Here's some pictures right here. The first picture you see is me in December of 2024. The next picture is early January, February of 2025. Then you're seeing midway through the year and at the end of the year in 2025. And now in 2026, I still look like this. So many guys will go in and out of shape, right? Like most people, what they'll do is they'll do an extreme bulk, an extreme cut, and they'll be fluctuating all the time. Similar to that other analogy I told you about the guy who follows the miserable diet program. And they're going in and out of shape, in and out of shape. They'll get ready for summer, they're out of shape, fat by winter, and they're fluctuating all the time. And as a result, year over year, because of all this fluctuation, they're not making a ton of progress. Many years they get in shape, then they get out of shape, and they're back at square one. Aesthetic masters not only build the physique in a sustainable way, but once you have built the physique of your dreams, you've built it in a way that lasts. I'm living proof of this. Many of my clients are living proof of this. Once you build the physique and you've built it and intertwined the habits and the lifestyle, you build it in a way where month over month, you get a little bit better. And as you can see, literally, even I'll go back to these pictures of me right here, by the way. From the first picture to the last picture you see, there's over a year difference in time. I stay in peak shape, but also the little detail that you might not notice is I've gained like 5-10 pounds of muscle, right? I'm not trying to gain 20 pounds of muscle, but I'm assuming a lot of you guys' goals is to just build a body that fills you with pride, where you get excited to go to the beach. And that's so possible. That is, I'm living proof of this, and so are so many of my clients. It's so possible, and I'm telling you that building a lifestyle that helps you get to this point, and building a lifestyle that is habitual, that is something you could repeat, is so much more important than just some miserable diet program that'll get you a quick fix that you might lose. So aesthetic masters build their physique where year over year, they keep winning, they keep making progress. And that's a place I'd love to help my clients get to. And just to sum this up, right? Here's a quick glimpse inside of the aesthetic mastery. Unlike most coaches, right? I'm not just giving you some cookie cutter split. It literally, as you guys know, it took me my entire life to figure out what the peak aesthetic split is. But on top of that, you're getting a 36 video course of me breaking down all the workouts, the form, the mind to muscle, the intensity. If you thought my Instagram videos were good, this takes it to a whole nother level. And not just that, right? When it comes to the peak aesthetic split, I gotta be honest with you guys, right? There is no such thing as the perfect split. But at the end of the day, You have your own perfect split. So you see the picture of the Kung Fu Panda analogy. It's almost like when you're constantly looking for the secret formula, but you see it's been you the whole time. Because at the end of the day, all these coaches will try and pretend this is the perfect diet. This is the perfect workout plan. This is it. It's all noise. At the end of the day, there is a perfect split, but it's customized to you. And part of the thing that I love to do as a coach is help figure out exactly what that is with you. The peak aesthetic split's amazing, by the way, and it's my perfect split. And so many of my clients, before even getting their customized split, see unbelievable progress just following that split alone. But the beauty that's built into the peak aesthetic split is the ability to customize, the ability to iterate, and to find those perfect workouts that align for your body and take out any workouts that might not work for your body. And that is the perfect split. That's the perfect split for you. But part of the process is having a coach who can help you get there. But I'll be honest, I do not work with everyone. Not everybody is cut out to become an aesthetic master. I only accept serious individuals who are genuinely committed. Inside of the aesthetic mastery, right, you're getting all the tools, all the resources you need, including accountability from me in order to help you build the best physique of your life. But at the end of the day, you still have to show up and put in the work. And to be real, 99% of people that watch a video like this will be like, oh, hey, that's cool, but the people who actually make progress and build the best physique of their life are the ones who take action. And if that's you and you're serious about locking in and becoming an aesthetic master, fill out the form below. Let's see if we're a good fit to get you into the best shape of your life and build a long-lasting aesthetic physique. But as always, regardless, get after it. Stay blessed. I believe in you.